web series with UI parts. So we just now starting with Automation Anywhere. And with me, I have Sagar, who is part of my team. He's a senior developer in CRG Solutions and quite a well-known guy in the community who has been working closely with many of the people on Automation Anywhere, key issues as well. So I welcome Sagar to this particular session, and let's have an enriching session over here. Let's explore and discover what is RPA, what is Automation Anywhere as an architecture, how it works, and let's have a sneak view in the control room of Automation Anywhere. So Sagar, I welcome you, buddy, and you could take us through the session. uh, I think it's good to start now. Yeah.
Hey, hi Shripad. Good
I
evening,
can't hear you,
everyone.
man.
Hello. Am I
Yep.
audible?
Yep.
Yes. So, thanks Shripad for your introduction and good evening, everyone. Welcome to this webinar session. I'm happy to see you all here today. And my name is Sagar Shirwadkar, and I'm working as senior RPA developer at CRG Solutions. Today, we will be speaking about RPA and automation anywhere. And this session will enable you to understand about how RPA is implemented in various domains of business lifecycle. So I think Shripad, I'll share my screen for the presentation so everyone can see. Okay, so let me know when you can see in the screen.
Yeah. We can see your screen. Cool stuff. Yes.
Okay.
Sir. Good.
Okay. So the topics which we are covering today is what is robotic process automation, why automation anywhere, and explore the automation anywhere along with the automation anywhere's architecture. So we are covering all these points in these sessions, and we are coming with the other points in the coming sessions. Okay, so this is something like if I'm doing my regular work for the repetitive task, so I'm getting bored for doing those mundane tasks. Okay, and if 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 I'm hello,
Yes, Sagar, we can hear you.
just let me know if my voice is breaking or it is not audible to you,
No, it is
because
quite
I'm
audible.
yes. Okay.
Hmm.
So before moving to this session, Shripad, I would like to play a video, a live bot for you for this robotic process automation.
So Sagar, I see a slide, robotic process automation, and I see a comic on the screen. Okay, I'm quite inquisitive to correlate to this particular picture. Okay, so we fine with you playing the video, so we could get a first-hand view of how automation works. So yes, you can minimize the slide and show us the video, and then jump back onto the slide. That's fine.
Okay, sure. So I'm just logging into my Automation Anywhere account.
Mm-hmm.
I have created one bot for you just to search you on LinkedIn and find out your profile. Okay, so it is something like manually I am logging into the LinkedIn account and searching for the Shrip. Okay, so I have created this bot for you to searching your LinkedIn profile. So I'm just running this bot. You can see.
You are breaking, Sagar. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, you're breaking. So if I can understand you, I will summarize for the participant. So you're playing a bot, or you are right now playing a bot live on your screen, which goes on to LinkedIn. It automatically logs on to LinkedIn and picks up my profile, and you get LinkedIn details for my particular profile. Is that correct?
Correct, absolutely. So I was
Okay.
talking about like if I wanted to search for your profile, I wanted to go and log in into that LinkedIn account and search for your profile. So here you can see the live bot which is searching for the Shripad, and you can see I have used the pop-up which is showing me the Shripad Madalkar with your LinkedIn profile. So if we pick up this profile and just copy here, so it is your profile. Okay, so it has uh, does easy my job for finding out the profile. So it is particular for your profile. If I wanted to search for the particular CEOs for the Mumbai domain, then I can just create a filter criteria and I can search for the particular particular domain along with the keyword.
Yeah, so I get your point. So you're trying to show us how RPA works and how you're mimicking the human action. So point taken, Sagar. This is how the bot works. Fantastic. Now, what is about this particular picture? It looks like you and me tired of doing some mundane task. What's your take on this picture?
I would like to share my past experience. Okay, so like I was working as when I was working as a developer. At that time, we need to update a particular deck for the company, like daily report. Okay, so for that you have to update that deck and copy paste all those files to the network drive or the particular share folder. But at that moment, I created a one bot which copy all the files from everyone's folder and pasting to the network shared folder. So it is something like I created as a piece of code which is like I applicable for everyone. So no one need to update their files manually. So it is just picking up the files from the particular location and pasting to the particular shared network. So it is something like that. If you are getting bored of your repetitive tasks, you can just automate your stuff and you can deploy the bots. So it how it works like that.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, this is like an individual who is tired of doing some mundane tasks, and there you have RPA who comes in, identifies that you're doing something which is recurring, gets it automated for you, and you are happy around doing some creative, meaningful work. Yeah, is that correct?
Exactly.
Oh, wonderful. So what's next? What's RPA according to you? What is RPNA? Okay, so that we could understand more about it. What is the definition of RPA? Could you share some light around it?
Yes, yes, sure. So I'm moving to the next slide. So what is RPA? Okay.
Hmm.
RPA is a robotic process automation, the technology which can help us to automate the rule-based and repetitive tasks without the human intervention. Okay, so it's all about the mimicking the human actions. So this task can include the queries, calculations, and maintenance of record and transaction as well. So RPA technology just reciprocate and employs action. For example, interacting with the user interfaces of your existing application and carrying out structured process automatically. For example, if you are handling an Outlook application, okay, and simultaneously if you wanted to work on the SAP application, so RPA can like talk in between the application as well. So it's work like that for the repetitive and rule based task. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So as per the reports and the articles, it is something like a gateway drug to the artificial intelligence and cognitive automation as well. Okay.
Okay. That's
So
wonderful.
yeah, yes. So as per the industry results and analysts, the RPA market which will grow like up to the 109% between 2017 to 2018, and at the end of 2021, it will reach up to 2.9 billions of dollars mark in a
Okay.
market.
Okay.
And if you wanted to like know the leading in the domains, okay, or the industries into the RPA, then those are the banking and finance sector industries, and followed by the telecom like telecommunication and healthcare. Okay, and if you ask me like what specifically from the industries, then it is finance and accounting and the HR operations from the particular industries. So hope you got my point, like where it is majorly used and what RPA is, right?
Yes, so I'm quite taken away by the statement that RPA is a gateway drug to artificial intelligence. So yes, it is absolutely right. If you're starting RPA, you're going to mimic human actions. Then you're going to build in more. automation modules into it, which will automatically get integrated with machine learning models, and which is going to further act like a bank wherein there would be predictive statements coming out, where there would be predictive modeling coming out, which is artificial intelligence. So, rightly put, I'm looking at a big market, 2.9 billion market. That's really an alarming number. And yes, BFSI is a leading domain which is adopting RPA, okay, which is followed with finance, accounting, and HR. That's wonderful insight, Sagar. Thank you so much. What we would want to understand now is you've given a background around RPA. So, which are the tools that are available in the market, and which are the tools that we could adapt to? If you could share some light around that.
Yes, yes, sure. For that, I am quickly moving to the next slide.
Mhm.
So the tools available in the market. Okay. So there are many tools currently available in the market. So every tool is best in their ways and functionalities. They will provide you lots of option to automate the processes and create the software robot. But of the tools available, there is an inclination towards UiPath and automation anyway. However, the choice of the tool should happen on the use case that you would want to automate and the ROI achieved with the regards to investment made by the business. So automation anywhere and UiPath is having like more customers in the market, but all other tools are also steadily moving to the growth and everything.
Okay, so to take something out of this slide, you're saying automation anywhere and UiPath are currently the leaders who are going ahead and acquiring most of the market. But from a consultant perspective, and that is from your experience, you're suggesting we should look at a tool as per the use case that we want to automate. So that is maybe a key takeaway that I would take away from this slide. And the Power Automate, which is at the very bottom, really excites me, is because that's with Microsoft and Softomotive. So yes, overall, yes, you've got the players around over here. Now you've explained me the tools, okay, which are available in the market. What are the types of automations that one can do? Is there something that you could help us, share some light around it?
Yes, yes, definitely. For
Okay.
that, I'm moving to our next slide. So you asked me the types of automation, right? So there are basically three types of automation at this moment. So the attended automation. Okay.
Hmm.
So the attended automation is like RPA bots are triggered by human and work alongside to take human decisions to and from them. So let's take example. It's something like a prompt message, we can say. So let's assume if we want to scrape a data from website, okay, and that data is depends upon their domain. In this case, we can ask user like which domain you want to like search the data for. So we can take the user input from the users to automate the processes. Okay, so it's work like that. After this, there is unattended automation. It is completely without human intervention. It does not require human decisions or interventions to run the bots. So bot can schedule at a time on daily, weekly, or the monthly basis, and it will get run without any intervention. So for example, in banking, so at the morning, or at the beginning of the day, I just want the particular report to get download from the particular website. Okay, so I can create a bot which can be scheduled at the very beginning of the day. So that bot will log in into that website and download that particular report, and can send that report to everyone's email ID. So it's work like that. So we do not require any human intervention or judgment into this. After this, there is hyper automation. So hyper automation is like one step ahead of all of this. So it extends the capabilities of RPA by adding the artificial intelligence, machine learning, the NLP, natural language processing, to the RPA. So it is something like the embedding the uh, RPA with the predictive analysis. So if you want to add something into the hyper automation. Do you know about hyperautomation? You can like add up your points as well.
Thanks for giving me a chance to speak on to your presentation. So yes, attended automation is one where you want an individual to go ahead and give his own inputs for the automation to be done. And the best example is when you have a website that you want to automate, but it is asking for captcha. So it's highly recommended that you should not automate captcha. So if you have something of that sort, goes an attended automation. Unattended automation is invoice processing, bank statement reconciliations, where you don't need human inputs. All right. And hyper automation is something which is my favorite. A couple of examples that I can give to you would be automation of a sort of a market data, which is extracted from the backend of your CRM. This data is then put it into a SQL database. You apply predictive models on these databases with the help of machine learning. You can use R, Python, and Scala. And once these models are out, okay, with the output, you put it across into a dashboard. Now, this dashboard could be a Tableau dashboard, could be a Power BI dashboard. So just imagine you're having RPA do the entire mundane work of getting data out of the entire CRM, massage it and put it into a database, which is a SQL. On top of it, you are triggering Python scripts, which are going to go ahead and predict models and get you the data out of it. And once the data is out, you are integrating that data into a dashboard, which is powered by Tableau and Power BI. So just imagine RPA is like a middleware which runs across your IT life systems or maybe your business life cycle in order to ensure that all systems complement to each other. This is a classic example of hyper automation, and that is where we all are progressing. A part of attended, a part of unattended, getting gelled up with various technologies available and giving you a thorough throughput. So that is hyper automation, according to me, guys, and that's my experience that I come up with hyper automation. Thanks, Sagar, for giving me a chance to speak around this. I will quickly move on to the next one. So you've given me the types of automation. Okay. Could you tell me domains which are currently in the business life cycle embracing RPA? What, according to your experience, are the best of the domains or the top domains who are embracing RPA?
Yes, yes, sure, Shripad. So I'm quickly again moving to the next slide. So the domains embracing the RPA. Okay. So here you can see the few domains. So healthcare, retail, telecommunication, banking, insurance, and manufacturing. So I have already mentioned about the banking and finance, the healthcare, the telecommunication, and insurance. These are the something like leading domains which are embracing the RPA. But I would like to mention about the retail and manufacturing because these domains are also steadily moving to their RPA use cases. So if we consider the retail first, so let's take example for the retail domain. So I just wanted to mention one use case, something like returns processing. So we purchase or buy online products from the e-commerce websites. Okay, so this task like product returns to the various retail processes. So processing the returns manually can be such a real time consuming task. So product returns and product returns like for those products cost to the company, and if their processing is done manually, it can like may further increase the rest of the cost as well. So RPA is effectively managing the returns and doing all the required changes in the altering way and entering the data into the inventory databases and customers fields. So this is something like RPA working in the retail industry. Okay, so after this manufacturing. So in manufacturing, like we use bots to automate emails and procurement processes as well. So I would like to mention one use case which is bill processing. Okay, so employees in in manufacturing industry, employees should refer the document to get the detailed information. Okay, so they can get so they can able to get the idea of what to purchase, or like what to when to purchase and how to purchase. So this is a very painful task for them in the manufacturing industry. Okay, so and in this task, if any error happens, this will lead to the massive loss in the industry. So in this case, by using RPA in this section, it will give the companies to create the product much faster, better data accuracy, and the product creation should also get completed on time. So this in these industries also, RPA is getting like growing steadily up to their mark. Okay, so hope you got my point about retail and manufacturing industry. If you wanted to add something into this, you can.
So I have a doubt. Okay, retail industry. You spoke about product returns. Okay, uh, uh, yes, products are getting returned. I just have a lame question. We when the product is returned, okay, the company or maybe Amazon or Flipkart, whoever it could be, has to go ahead and talk to multiple systems. Okay, for example, when the product is returned, it is ideally coming from a courier. Okay, so that data would be coming in from an invoice, a sort of a DHL invoice or Blue Dart invoice. Then it is getting feeded into a CRM, and then the data is being pulled out. Again, the company is going to pick it and put it back into the warehouse. Okay, and when it goes back to the warehouse, again from warehouse it needs to go back to the vendor. Now there are multiple systems that are involved into it. Okay, uh, you saying RPA can integrate with each of these systems? Are you sure? And if yes, uh, can it be possible through GUI automation, API? And if it is a legacy system, can RPA be
Yeah.
implemented? Is my only
Yes.
simple question.
Yes, Shripad, definitely. So it
Mhm.
is something like that, like interacting between the applications. So it can be SAP application, it can be ERP application, or it can be legacy application. So RPA can work between in this application simultaneously. So for example, if you wanted to return anything, then you will go to the customer support and you will raise a request. So that request, like if at that time when request is getting hit to their server or their application, the bot will start processing. So bot will pick up that service, like service incident number or that request number, and proceed with the later on data. So it helps to work simultaneously with all the applications.
Okay, so whilst you and me are talking, there has been a good feedback coming around from Sandeep also. His question is quite relevant. He said, "Can we integrate chatbots?" Okay, and that's a question which even I have, and I think you can share some light around it. If we integrate chatbot with RPA, the experience is going to be far more better. So, do you think chatbots can be integrated with RPA?
Definitely. We can integrate the chatbots with the RPA. So, with the help of IBM Watson or with the Google's Dialogflow, we can integrate the chatbot into the RPA. So, it is something like one step ahead or something cognitive approach to the
Mhm.
technology. So, hope you got my point.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to add something uh, in the retail space, and that's for the audience around over here. We're just not staying back with chatbot. Okay, there has been processes wherein RPA can talk to IVRs. Okay, it can integrate to a particular telephony system, pick up the list of vendors and their mobile numbers, and make a call through a dialer. Okay, and that dialer calls could be a DTMF tones. DTMF tones is going to be like press 1 for this particular date to be selected, or press 2 to which location. Okay, so that is how you can integrate an IVR and make calls to the vendors so that the products are picked on time, and the entire because if it is a refurbished product, okay, it's going to lose its life if it is just going to be in the warehouse. So that's one more additional use case that you could look at. So Sagar, just adding more, so thank you so much. We should move on to the next one now, Sagar. If you have told me about the domains that are using RPA, okay, now I would want to understand of all these tools, why automation anywhere? What's the
Yeah,
special?
sure, Shripad. So again, I'm quickly moving to our next slide. So why automation anywhere? Okay. So automation anywhere is a web-based management system which uses a control room to run the automated task. So automation anywhere tool can automate end-to-end business operation for the companies. So here are some uh, like features of automation anywhere. So the platform independence. So the automation anywhere has the two version, the on-premises version and the cloud versions, which has been enabled from A2019. So it is like completely platform independence. Earlier it was built in .NET framework, okay, and now it is built in Java. So we all know how Java works in platform independence thing. So it is completely platform independence, the user friendliness. Okay, so this tool is just a drag and drop tool and easy to use for the developers and end users as well. So I can show you this more specifically at the time of the bot creation. So you have to just drag and drop the commands from the automation anywhere application and you have to use the tool. So this tool follows the client server architecture. So it is something like the connecting to your server with the help of a clients using some connection protocols like that. So I'm talking about this client server architecture more in brief in next slide. So OS support, so it supports Windows, Mac, and Linux is also getting supported in their coming version. So so it has ability to work on the multiple operating systems. Okay, and if we talk about the cognitive approach, I have already explained you about how it is powerful with the help of artificial intelligence and machine learning. We can create all the models of natural language processing as well to make it more predictive and more cognitive towards the technology.
Okay, okay. So, whilst you and me were on this session, uh, our dear friend Manuel has requested, would Automation Anywhere A2019 work on Mac and Linux? Okay, so Manuel, the answer is for Linux, A2019 development is ongoing. I think in couple of months, a package is getting released which would work on Linux as well as on Mac. But at this moment, it is currently available where it is tested and stable and working on Windows. Okay, I hope I've answered your question. So, Sagar, I got why automation anywhere. Okay, what's next that you want to show us? Okay, I think the next should be a client server architecture is what I am looking at, is because that's very critical to be known.
Yes, sure, Shripa. So I want to add one more point into this. So automation anywhere, it is a centralized application where you can create, modify, and deploy your pod. So we will get everything at same place. So we can say one-stop shop to it. Uh, because you can see like you can create your bot at the same place and you can monitor the bot from the same control room. So I can show you that later on. So I'm quickly moving to the next slide. So the client server architecture. So as I explained about the control room. So control room is something like a heart of the automation anywhere. So it is an application, web-based application which controls all your bots. So it will give you the access to create the bots as well. So it's work on the RBAC protocol. It is something like user-based access controls. So it will give machines the user access to create or to run the bot. So uh, I am moving to the next slide just to showcase
Mhm.
you the complete architecture of the automation anywhere. So here you can see at the center the control room. So control room is basically, we can say it is work as a server. So basically we are installing the control room onto the servers, okay, and connecting all our clients to the control room using the using the network. So here you can see the bot creators, IQ bot creators, bot store, bot runners are there. So bot creators and bot runners are the basic components of the automation anywhere, along with the control room. So bot creators is something like we can create our bot using the application. So if I'm a developer, then I have a license, okay, to create or build a code for the particular use case. Okay, so it's work like that. And if we talk about the bot runner, we use the bot runners to use our bots to run independently 24/7 onto the machines. So if you wanted to start like the development in like in your organization or any of the company, then we can proceed with the control room and bot runners and bot creators. So it work like that. And one more point, there is one like bot agent from the A2019 which help us to talk in between the control room and the clients. Clients are nothing but the creator and runners, and server is the control room. So that bot agent will help you to call between your control room and the runners and clients. So hope you got my point along with the architecture.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, 11.3.xx, that's because there are many versions that are coming around. So there is a control room which sits on the server, and the clients sit on to your desktops or the laptops, which is your creator or the runner. Okay, but with A2019, your control room sits on a server. Okay, but when you're launching A2019, it is launched through a web wherein you access the control room, but in the control room you can now access your bot creator. And if you want to run the bots, you have a bot agent, sort of an exe, which needs to be initiated on the client machines so that the bots can be run over there. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct.
Okay, okay, that's good. So just wanted to check upon one thing. I think Manuel again has asked, is the encryption on A feature or a Windows server feature? Okay, that's so just for the audience around. If you go back to the slide, okay, Sagar, just one slide behind. TLS 1.2 encryption, data in motion, and that's between your control room and your bot creators and runners. This is a secure protocol, Manuel. It's not a server feature. It's part of your installation. Okay. Now this protocols are embedded in your installation, and that is where these protocols are Windows protocols, but the software supports these protocols between the client and the server network. How it works is, which I just want to add up so that this architecture knowledge becomes more stronger. When a client is talking to a server, there is an encrypted key that is being shared between these two components. Okay, so control room has an encryption key, for example, which is running into an hexadecimals and into binary values. Okay, for example, as 111. And when that key is available and generated by control room for a bot runner to access it, and when the bot runner is similarly sending a key with the same value, that is when the handshake happens. Handshake is a terminology used in networks. So that is when the keys match, and this is where it works. Okay, and that is where it gets supported with this particular protocol. So the protocol is part of your operating system. Okay, but the entire protocols that come up with the client is what the software provides. Okay, a, yes, you're absolutely right, A is just compliant with this, but if these protocols don't exist, okay, you would lose out on the security bit. Okay, and it is going to be an agnostic now. You don't need to be on an OS like a Windows or Mac or Linux. It's all about the protocols which are available part of your entire code software, and that is how it triggers manual. It's not about particular Windows or OS or something which is residing into the protocols. Quite an architectural and knowledge which I think you and me are talking around, but just relevance for this architecture is what I was talking about. Yeah, so Sagar, that's about client server architecture. I totally understand, and thank you so much for the feed. what's next that you got over here?
Yes, Shripad, sure.
Hmm.
So, I'm going to explain about the control room. Okay. So, what is control room? So, basically, it is a web-based application, and it is a centralized location and repository for the bots. Okay. And where you can create and modify or deploy your bots. Okay. And you'll get everything at the same place, along with the audit logs and the historical data, and it's work like that. So from the like admin access, you can give the users roles, like as I mentioned or explained about the RBAC protocol, like rule based access control. So it can give the individual about the roles, like if you wanted to develop a code, then I can give you the like creator access. If our machine want to run the code for the automation anywhere, or we wanted to deploy a bot on particular machine, then we can give it a runner access. So it's work like that.
Okay, so too much of slides, too much of data being shared on the screen. Can we see a live sort of a view of how A2019 works and what are the key features? I don't want you to dwell too much into it, is because I know that's going to be part of the next sessions that are planned. But I want to understand what's the application look like. Okay, what are the key features? If you can share something around it, show us the application, how it works, what are the key controls, what are the key tabs. Okay, that's really going to help us to start our journey on A2019.
Okay, sure, Sripad. So quickly, I'll take you to the live control room of the automation anywhere. So so here you can see the automation anywhere portal or the login. So here you just have to mention your username along with the password, then login. Okay. Okay, so here you can see at the left side there is pane, okay, where you can see all the tabs. So this is the home, where you can get the shortcuts to create a bot for the particular task bot or the IQ bot along with the bot inside. The dashboard is there, so it will show you in a like in a in a visual manner, like your complete structure of like how many bots are got completed or how many bots are getting failed. It show you the complete statistical representation of the bots run. Okay, so in activity you can see the in progress and historical tab. So under the in progress tab you can see your bot runners on which the bots are getting run. So if you have scheduled something at 7 o'clock on particular machine, so you can see that status over here on the in progress tab. The historical tab is something like it will show you the complete run of the particular part. So you can see I have run the particular part for the multiple times. So it will show me the complete data from that historical tab. Okay. And bots. Okay, so bots is nothing but the repository of the control room where you can see your complete list of bots which you have created like for yourself and for the use cases. So here you can see I have created some bots. So you can see the bots folder structure, and under that I have created LinkedIn bot for you at that time. So this is the bot. So here you can create a new bot from this create new tab. You can import bot. That means like if you are doing a migrating activity, if you wanted to move from one version to another version, then you can use these options. Okay, the credential vaults and global value. It is something like the vault where which we can store all the password. Okay, and global values is something like we can create the values at the very first time, and we can call that those variables and values throughout our code. So it is more about the development part. The devices and at the administration. So devices is the list of devices which are connected to your control room. So at this moment I have connected my machine to this control room. So you can see the device name is Sagar along with the bot agent version 7.0. So you need to be on update with the bot agent version as well, because it is something like application which talks in between the control room and the bots. Okay, so after this administration, and in administration you can see the users. Okay, so I have explained you about the RBAC protocol, so you can give all this to your machine from this user tab. So you can see there are many roles available over here. It is getting loaded. So currently, our bot is our machine. Like machine is having bot, insight expert, and C user. So if I wanted to assign a particular roles to our machine, then we can assign. So currently, I'm checking it all and assigning roles to the machine. So in this way we can assign the roles to the user. So this can be happen from the admin access to give the roles to the users. So hope you got more clarity about this automation anywhere control room, home screen, and the dashboard.
Yes, so that really makes sense. So this is the control room that you have shown. Through the control room, now I can go ahead and create bots. And if I want to go ahead and run bots, I need to connect a device. Sagar, have you been able to hover around connecting a device? Is that covered at your end?
That thing is something like I'm going to explain in the next sessions. But
Uh-huh.
here we can add a new device here. But for
Okay.
that, I need to delete this device first, because this is community edition. So in enterprise edition, you can connect the as many of devices you can add. So if you see, I am deleting this device. Okay, and you can add the new device from this pane only. So connect to my computer. The bot agent is already installed in my machine. So my device is connected. So it is like simple as that. So hope you got
Okay.
my point, how to connect devices to the control room.
Yeah, so that was quite quick, but maybe for the audience, when you go ahead and add a particular client, it prompts you to download a exe, which you need to download and install it onto your local workstation. Okay, but ensure you do it with admin access, because it will again land up into another trouble of access issues. So once that is done, it then gets registered to your control room, and that's how you can run the bot. So looks very easy as of now is because it's already registered. But going forward, if you want to register a particular device, I think you will need to install it with those steps and the EXEs that are running. Fantastic.
Yes.
That's good about the control room. If we have finished with the entire session, I think it's time to take some questions, okay, which you and me both can pitch and answer them, okay. And I would let the audience go ahead and ask a couple of questions, and we'll be more than happy to answer them. Looking at the timeline that is currently available, I think we have some time wherein we can answer a couple of questions. And I think, Sagar, you're good to take the questions then? Yeah?
Yes, yes, Shripad, definitely.
Okay. I see a lot of questions from manual, I think. But there is one, I'll go back to manual, but there's one question from Vaibhav. What work the client server? So Vaibhav, unfortunately, I'm not able to understand. Your statement reads that what work the client server. So is there another question that you were asking and that's not available? If or maybe you can type the question again and we can take the question and get the relevant answer to you. Uh, Perfect. There is one from manual. Okay. Will bots run on Mac or Linux too? So yes, manual. We answered that. It will run on Mac at this moment if you're launching it through a web. Okay. But a specific exe for Mac and Linux is getting developed as per the support that we have spoken about, and it's very soon going to be launched, which will enable us to run bots on Linux also. Yeah. Uh, then the question was, can the CR be installed on a Linux server then? I am unsure of that at this moment, Manuel, is because we haven't tried doing that. Maybe we could try that and then get back to you. The reason why we haven't tried installing it on Linux server is because the specs mention about installing it on Windows OS itself. So we are also eagerly waiting for an exe which is available to run on Linux operating system.
Okay. So Shripad, for this
Yeah.
point, actually it was limited with the version 11.xxs because it was built in .NET framework. Okay, but
Yeah.
now it is built in Java framework, and Java is platform independent. So they are giving us the feature of platform independence to get it installed. So they are like coming up with their new release to get it installed on Linux and Mac as well.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I have one more from Manuel. It says, can RBAC be integrated with AD groups? Global values work throughout your pod, throughout your pod. Okay. The first question is, can RBAC be integrated with AD groups? So RBAC is your role-based access control for particular bots to be run on your desktop or client, whichever. Can it be integrated with AD groups? To answer your question, if I am Shripad and my ID is S Madalkar, and I log into a workstation and I am able to launch a control room, there I need to go ahead and put in my user credential. So doing a single sign-on needs to be tested with A2019. But if it was 11.3, it used to work, is wherein you can establish a single sign-on with Automation Anywhere client, and you could get it completely done, wherein you can directly access the AA client. But the only thing is, your AA ID, your user ID for AA, has to be defined as per your Windows credentials. If there is a slight mismatch, it's not going to work, even though there is a proper AD integration. With A2019 needs to be tested is the answer, Manuel. We haven't tested that. Okay. Any more questions, guys? Uh, that was the last which I got from Manuel. Manuel, I hope we are able to answer your questions. If yes, maybe you could share a response back. If not, then me and Sagar are happy to catch up with you personally and get on a call and talk to you around it. Cool stuff. So, Sagar, I don't see any more questions popping up at this moment. I think we can move on to the next slide then. Yeah.
Sure, Shripad.
Cool. So, guys, this is the session which is provided by CRG. I'll just give you a quick background about CRG. CRG is headquartered in Canada. Okay, that's in Ottawa is where we have a major office. It's been 30 plus years in business, 4,000 plus customers worldwide. We have offices in India, Singapore, serving India and Eastern markets. Uh, on to the next slide, Sagar, wherein if you want to reach out to us, Sagar, can you move on to the next one? This is where we are spread across. That's the amount of customers that we have in India. Over 500 organizations that we are serving. You talk about BFSI, consulting, telecom. These are our customers, and this is where our rich experience comes into picture. The next slide also talks about more about the customers that we are. Big names already there available with us. Okay. Uh, Next one, Sagar. These are the locations where we are available, and if you are in Mumbai, Pune, Gurgaon, or Bengaluru, please drop in and we can have further discussions around automation, and we'll be more than happy to catch up with you. Next one, Sagar. And these are our current offerings. So we give offerings with regards to intelligent automation, project delivery, managed services. We are also doing digital workforce review as well as change management. We have experts sitting with us who have multiple years of relevant industry knowledge. A combination of domain experience and technology has been trending across and is blending together with our functional SMEs as well as the IT organizations to create a scalable RPA strategy for your business. So our RPA assessment models will help you identify and prioritize RPA opportunities within your business. We would look forward to reach out to you so that we could also help you in establishing COE, data analytics, and also look into training as well as staff augmentation. With this, I think we are good to go ahead and conclude on the entire webinar. If you have any more questions, guys, please feel free to write back to Eva. That's the email address which is already available with you. We'll be happy to take on questions. The next webinar is likely to happen in 2 weeks from now. But tomorrow there is a webinar which includes orchestrator for UiPath, which Nisar could be conducting, and there we'll be discussing about queues. And very soon there is a business webinar coming up, which will be talking about your RPA strategy in a particular domain like IT. So stay tuned to the updates. We are more than happy to help you wherever required. Please feel free to reach out to us. Till then, adios. May you ride eternal, shiny, and grow. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Rupert. Thanks, everyone.